A lot of the PKA fan base crosses over with our Biggest Problem in the Universe podcast. And they're always like, why is Vito not on PKA? And I'm like, I don't know. We'll make time for it. And I guess we have finally done that here today.
We finally have. Yeah, I get badgered all the time to be like, think of another problem. Go back on the Biggest Problem.
Come back on. We need guests. And it was a great episode.
Which, if you like, for Kyle and Woody's benefit, can you explain the premise of the show?
Yeah, Biggest Problem in the Universe is literally trying to decide what the biggest problem in the universe is. So each week, the hosts and our guests, we each bring in different problems. It could be nuclear war. It can be taking a big shit and it rips up your asshole a little bit. And then you have to argue about it and be like, this is why this is the biggest problem. This is why child support is the biggest problem in the universe, whatever. A little bit of an argument. And then, of course, the audience gets to vote on the problems. They go up and down on the leaderboard depending on whatever. So it's got a fun interactive element, bringing up different problems. People decide
what do you think?
Which ones. It sucks when you bring in your problem and it ends up like downvoted all the way to hell.
What's the worst response?
That's my biggest problem.
that is the biggest problem is losing the episode. There's a bit of a competitive aspect to it, which is fun too. And
Dick takes it very seriously, obviously, with everything.
Yeah,
and I love
really
Dick's problems of like. He does a great job of shutting down your attempts at sincerity sometimes. He'll be like, you'll bring something of a genuine problem, and he'll be like, my problem is everyone needs to lose 20 pounds. He's like, no exceptions. Everyone could stand to lose 20.
Or he'll bring in things because he knows that, and he'll have like some weird, he always has this like meta narrative or whatever where he goes, my problem is the Civil Rights Act. And I'm like, Dick, no, you can't. Come on. And he's like, no, but here is. And he has like this weird convoluted thing about government intersecting with whatever. And then I'm like, please don't vote up the Civil Rights Act. For the love of God, it's hard enough to get I tried to get a guest on the show, and he's like, some of these problems, lack of blackface. And I'm like, well, it's actually convoluted, the whole thing.
Yeah, Dick just wanted to find a way to put lack of blackface and the civil rights movement in the list. So
yeah, exactly.
You know where you see a ton of blackface is in the military. Like when it's practical, everybody's like, get it on there, man. Like, can you imagine the one soldier, like we're SEAL Team 6 going in at dark, and the one guy's like, guys, this is super fucking insensitive. Come on.
you see that in the Navy SEAL like commercials is they could be fighting on the moon, black as night, and they still have green stripes because even the military, even at your most dire moment, they're like, are you ready? Whoa, throw a green stripe in there, private. Like it's dangerously close to Al Jolson. The king of blackface in the 1920s. He really made his bones.
Jesus Christ. That's a deep blackface reference there.
Good God, I'm like, what does the guy who makes
as a true blackface connoisseur?
Are you a fucking Grand Dragon? How do you know that?
That left one, I like that. That's like a Spartan helmet painting on there. That's neat.
Honestly,
there's one
like
black soldier.
Critter.
There's one guy off to the side going, you guys are way too comfortable putting this on. It seems like you're almost practiced at this.
The black
hand me the red so I can do my lips. No, red. No.
That guy's like, should I do something? Just close your eyes and don't smile.
You just have the green paint.
This guy doesn't look tired to me for real. He looks like he's faking it for Getty Images. You know what I mean? Like, look at his eyes. They're all white and clear.
Oh, good call.
I don't think he's fucking tired.
Some of these soldiers are faking their shell-shockedness.
I don't think he's a real soldier.
He's photo op.
I think that's a huge problem.
What is this? What army is this? This is some sort of like Southeast Asian army, I bet. This is like the Singapore bad boys.
All right, I was gonna
a Chinese ear test stuck on an RPG-7.
I mean, it's kind of neat, right? It's kind of a neat face paint to be scary with.
Dude, let me just say.
Is it?
A little.
It's like
it looks like Day of the Dead. It looks like they're gonna serve me a churro.
When I played,
it's not very scary.
When I played baseball, we went out and there was a debate. It was like, all right, are we gonna cut the sleeves off the jerseys or not? And I was like, guys, look at our arms. Like, we're 13 here. Like, I don't think, and we're not intimidating anyone. Was kind of my point. And everybody's like, no, cut them off. We look like such a bunch of pussies out there with our And we lost like 3 games. We only played 12 or 16. We lost a lot. That's a lot.
So
of games.
did you had skinny little 13-year-old arms coming out of enormous armhole like a Jim Penny?
The problem was we lost, right? Like you don't start on day one with the sleeves cut off, and you also don't start on day one with your face painted like you came out of Black Ops 3. Like, get a few kills under your belt first. You know what I mean? Like the whole squad's painted up like that. I don't know. Like
You don't think so? I was going to go to my first open basketball game ever, and I've already bought the 2 full sleeve things.
You already tatted up.
Yeah.
You already got the tats.
I got the tats.
Ball is life.
Yeah. So the something I always enjoy about you and Dick is somehow you always have beef with everyone online, just causing problems, fighting. And the world of comic books, I'm nothing. I've never read a comic book. Like my friend groups growing up, nobody had comic books. It's like a blind spot of my whole childhood. And so I had a fun time watching you and Dick kind of tear down this comic that you guys have all been poking fun at online. Can you give us a background of what that was about?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. So one topic that comes up on our show a lot is this whole idea of woke marketing versus anti-woke marketing. So, the left started off and they're like, look, Skittles are gay now. Buy some gay Skittles. Now I go to Target, buy a bunch of gay. Okay, which is, we all know it's like a little obnoxious. It's like, yeah, okay. Do you guys really care about gay people? Or are you just trying to make money? Is this just marketing? Whatever. You can argue it up and down.
Sure.
But then we started getting into the anti-woke marketing where we now see, like, hey, did you hear Hershey's chocolate bars are gay? And then Daily Wire goes, buy our anti-woke chocolate bar, the only chocolate bar that doesn't have pronouns, bro. And it's like $50 for a chocolate bar. And we're like, this is the same grift. They're doing the same thing. They're just doing it in reverse. It's not marketing a product based on the quality of the product, as we should want to buy quality products, but instead, like, hey, if you buy this, you're winning an ideological political war against your enemies.
It's high school.
The official candy bar of the KKK.
Right. Like
it's high school all over again. It's high school. We've all got to wear the right brand. Dude.
Yeah. You all got to support
Jinko jeans.
Why didn't you
sit on that
anything?
Side of the room?
Yeah, finger on the pulse.
This steak sale supports the junior girls varsity, and if you don't buy this brownie, you basically hate our school. Yeah, it's that. Yeah. It's tribalism being entered into products, which is silly. And if you're an adult, you should just buy the best one you can get for your money. Yeah. You shouldn't really care. Did Bud Light put a gay person on the can? Okay, well, if you like drinking Bud Light, I don't know why you liked it to begin with. But that should not really influence your beer purchasing decision.
What does?
My argument.
What does and what should? Because I'll give you an example.
Calories.
I always bought the Dolphin Safe tuna. Now I don't think there's Dolphin Danger tuna anymore, but like back in the day, I guess there was. Yeah. But any product that says they'll donate to animals or something like that, I'll buy. But if it's like if Pringles is like 10% of your fucking money goes to a heroin addict, I'm switching to Lay's. Like I am gonna. I'm going to speak with my dollar to some extent in this pseudo-capitalistic market we're in.
Yeah, support does mean little to me. I was thinking about it. Yeah. Like when I was in high school, I was really into cycling. I had that. I rode like 250 miles a week, and I had the tight clothes and all the thing. And I was gay. So if cycling is a super unpopular sport, it's way more popular to make fun of cycling than to actually ride your bike.
Fact check, true.
And so the rare company that like actually sponsored Lance Armstrong or whatever, Greg LeMond back at the time, I'd be like, all right, that's the freaking protein bar that I want to eat because they support my unpopular sport.
Yeah.
And in the opposite, I was into off-roading a lot in like my 30s, and companies that would like support shutting down off-road trails and keeping 4x4s out of the desert or whatever, I would boycott them because they're boycotting me. Like they're trying to shut down my hobby. So I'm not going to send my money to you.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little bit.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I totally understand the idea of wanting to try and exist ethically under capitalism, as hard as that is, and with the interweaving web of child labor and whatever the hell else. The problem is when you are willing to accept what is clearly an inferior or overpriced product merely for the sake of making a political stance. Like if there's 2 chocolate bars, they each cost $1. One of them gives money to orphans, the other one gives money to rope. I'd go, okay, I'll buy the orphan chocolate bar. I get it. Like that's an easy choice. The problem is when it's the $1 chocolate bar that maybe, I don't know, either is giving a nickel to gay people or whatever, or the, again, $20 chocolate bar that I don't know is going to some guy at the Daily Wire.
$18 to Ben Shapiro.
Gives $18 to Ben Shapiro, and who's already a multimillionaire and doesn't need it. I'd go, you know what? I'm just going to buy the $1 chocolate bar. It's stupid for me to pay for something if I'm not going to get extra quality, and I'm buying it just to make a political statement. So the way that enters into comics is there is a gentleman, a YouTuber named Eric July. You may be aware of him. He's a libertarian influencer, an African-American gentleman, large bodybuilder kind of guy. He works out. And he said, I'm going to make a comic book, right? Now, I have my own personal beefs with this guy. I don't like some of his politics. So I was naturally skeptical. I'm like, is this guy a writer? He's one of these guys who every day is making videos about the reason the Marvel movies suck is they're woke. And the reason that the comic books suck is they're woke. And the reason blah, 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 blah. And me as a writer, I go, that's part of the problem. It's not the entire problem. There's a lot of problems going on in entertainment right now. And a lot of guys have dialed it down to, if you just take the politics out, everything gets good. And I go, no, that's not the solution. There is some of that, but if that's all you can talk about, frankly, you have no business critiquing writing or media. Thank you. So this guy goes, I'm going to make a comic book. And I go, well, in my head, this guy's a big dummy who seems to, and of course he's promising this is going to be a non-political comic. It's not going to have any politics in it. And, he works for The Blaze. He has contacts at Fox News. So you have Fox News puts out a huge news article. Anti-woke comic book will destroy the establishment or whatever else. And all his buddies on YouTube are making videos saying, they literally were making videos saying Marvel and DC are terrified. And I'm there going, guys, Marvel and DC did not give half of two shits about a libertarian influencer making an independent comic. Now, he raised a bunch of money because he's got a bunch of connections at The Blaze and whatever else. He raised, I think, $3 million. And the comic comes out, and I said, look, I've looked at the campaign, I've looked at the synopsis, I've looked at the existing art. I go, I can't imagine this comic's going to be good. And then I read it, I went, yeah, it sucks. It's a shitty comic. But of course, he's one of these guys, he's got a huge following, and I'll go, no, this is the future of comics. DC and Marvel are running scared. We are going to take over entertainment. So meanwhile, I keep talking about this on the show with Dick, and I go, I've read the comic. It's terrible. And all these guys are gaslighting themselves, saying it's the future of comics. And he goes, you're just a hater. You just hate this guy because of his politics. I'm going to read it. I bet it's great. And then he read it, and he came back. And he's like, that is the worst fucking comic book I've ever read in my life. and did a very detailed review. He went through it. He gave classic Hollywood notes, because Dick is a guy who's worked in the Hollywood system. He's written scripts. He's got notes on his own scripts. He went, well, here's your problem. Okay, you don't have a 3-act structure. The main character has no motivation. There is no story hook. It's a superhero comic where you don't even understand who the character is or what powers he has. Again, this is all convoluted. We have the review.
No, that guy.
Hey, real quick, am I able to share my screen? Is that a thing? Did I do that correctly?
Probably,
I wanted to show you guys real quick. So this is the Indiegogo page.
We can share screens.
We're already at 831 backers, 16 days left.
So wait, now here's share screens this whole time.
Yeah, you guys should do that. Yeah. It would make your lives a lot easier. I did want to show you guys real quick. So here's some cool art. Very cool. Again, this artist is great. You get to meet all your favorite characters. We got a little robot who swears and causes a all cool
Vito's
stuff.
story.
I need Ari to have a penis.
That's episode 3.
You never see a robot with genitalia, and I don't care for that.
We could. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna have a penis.
I don't want any they/them robots. Okay, let me know what's up.
What I want you to J.K. Rowling it, write it all with no allusion at all to their sexuality, and then after it's over and you have a bunch of fans, every single person was trans.
Everyone was trans the whole time. Yeah. You can just do that. No one can stop you. So
that's true.
So we got the basic cover.
It's like the bunnies at the park. They're free. This
is one of my favorite parts. So we have the basic cover. All right, this is like the cover you can buy in the store. This is the cover you can only get on Indiegogo. Again, kept it reasonably priced. Okay, so this cover. Have you guys ever heard of La Blue Girl?
No.
You can say
I'm
no.
Interested.
But you're aware of the concept of tentacle porn, right?
Oh,
yes.
Yes. Okay. So the reason you're aware of tentacle porn is specifically because of this man, Toshio Maeda.
He's the
Now,
father of tentacle pornography.
He is genuinely the father of tentacle pornography.
I could see
now,
it.
if you were buying anime back in the 90s, you couldn't get real stuff. You had to go to a flea market and buy some bootleg tapes off the back of some guy's van. And that guy would always go, "Hey kid, you want to see something really cool?" And you go, "What?" And he'd show you this bootleg copy of The Blue Girl, which was about ninjas fighting each other to the death with sex as tentacle monsters tried to have their way with all of them. So I wanted to do a cover. A lot of these campaigns, they do like a sexy cover. And I was like, I kind of want to do like a cool, like Japanese manga, like hentai cover. I'm like, wait, could I get Toshio Maeda? Could I get the godfather of tentacle porn? So I had to get a translator to send this guy an email and go, "Hello, I am Big America Comic Man, and I want to put your horrible tentacle art on my disgusting." And he was like, "Yes, I will do this for you, sir." And the only problem was the language barrier. He like kept sending me sketches, and I'm like, "Listen, man, I kind of want this franchise to have legs. It's gonna be hard if my main character is getting split apart by 6 penis tentacles. Like you gotta tone it down."
Could you get the children to pipe down in the back? They're screaming so loud. Shio, what?
He's like, "So you want the tentacles like ripping apart her clothes and jamming their way into her mouth?" I'm like, "No, like kind of suggestive." Like suggesting a
I understand. So you want her like violently brutalized. I understand. Yeah. I understand English.
He sent me all these sketches of her getting stuffed from every side, and I'm like, no, like this. I want to get like a cartoon at some point, and I'm not.
No, you totally preaching to choir. Like more rape, right?
Yeah. Like I was like, I just want to keep this
Me
viable.
You same wavelength,
dude. I know you tried to tone it down, but I like see moisture on her vagina, and
no. That's all tentacle slime. That's tentacle slime. That's not coming from her, as far as I can tell.
I mean, how would you know? You didn't draw it.
Shut up. We're going to get in trouble. Someday I'm going to be pitching this as an animated
Your
series for
interpretation
Netflix.
is no better than mine. You didn't draw this shit.
I'm going to be talking to Netflix executives and they'd go, "I'd like you to address this this episode of PKA where clearly there are wet juices running down the leg. Point is, there is a tentacle cover showing."
You know what they say? You know it when you see it.
Yep.
This is an exclusive.
How many revisions were required?
There were a lot of revisions, and this is the best I could get without. He was like, "Listen, man, I got to do something to her," and I'm like, "All right, fine. This is good enough."
I don't understand why you're being so hard. You're the one who reached out to me. You're the fucking weirdo here.
Honestly,
I was just sitting around masturbating for the last 20 years until you bother me. Ask me to make funny cover, and then you say, "Oh, this too gross." Are you familiar with my work? It's vile. It's revolting. It upset people. People vomit at my work.
I think we came to a fair compromise. Let's just say that.
You know what? I'm seeing a little romance when I look at her eyes and his mouth.
She's afraid, and she's been disarmed. Look, her gun is flying through the air because it has grabbed her wrists and arms. It is clearly raping her.
If that's not the look of consent, then I've just never had consent.
There's a big like stabby thing coming for her. She's like at knife point essentially. And
she's not at knife point.
That's just what girls look like.
She's clearly about to re-grab her gun and fight off the aliens. She is a proud, strong female character. But no,
she fell. It's catching her.
She fell. Exactly. It's helpful.
He's saying, "No, madam."
Those are the eyes Lois Lane made when she was caught.
That skirt at no point would have been appropriate. Like it is incapable of covering her vagina.
Wait, that's not just a belt.
It's that's supposed to be a skirt. It is a make believe skirt.
Trying to zoom.
This guy's impressive. He's the best left hand only artist on earth.
He is the master. Honestly, when I went to approach him, I did some research. He had just done a collaboration with Supreme, that brand that sells all that. And I'm like, he's like, "How much money you got, white boy?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have Supreme money." I'm like, "I can pay you something." But I think we worked out a
I made something for Balenciaga. They said it's not extreme enough. they said there aren't nearly enough underage people getting messed with in this image.
She's of age. No underage rape. I promise you.
Now that I'll buy.
True.
And we also have a cool collector's edition, which does not include the rape cut. Yeah, we're doing a lunchbox, baby.
I do kind of. I don't own any, but I have considered, like, if I was going to get one of those weird fucking collector's hobbies where you just waste a bunch of money on nonsense, it'd be those old timey metal lunch boxes for real.